Hi there, Luke here with episode 11 of our Eurotrip 2020 travel series. This particular Eurotrip 2020 series focuses on a trip that we did in the summer of 2020 to the countries of France, Luxembourg, and portions of Portugal. So do stay tuned for that as we'll be updating new videos regularly. From where we last left off in episode 10, we were in the city of Sète, and the next morning we woke up bright and early to take a train to the city of Nîmes. From the train station, it was just a short walk to the main square, where in particular they have this beautiful fountain called the Fontaine. We found this was a really nice time of day to visit it because no people were really around, and also because the morning light was really nice on the surrounding area. Nearby is the amphitheater of Nîmes. It was a bit too early for us to go in and visit it, but we still enjoyed walking around the outside of it. From here, we walked farther into the city to the Maison Carrée, which is a Roman temple that is interesting for its architecture and history. From here, we walked to one of our favorite parts of the city, which was the Jardins de la Fontaine. It's really cool to see this area because they have very well-preserved Roman baths here. So it was kind of cool to see this archaeological site mixed in with just your typical but well-preserved and well-maintained park. So it was kind of a fun mix of history but outdoor park-like setting. Within the park, there's also the Temple de Diane, which are these really amazing historic Roman ruins that are just there for anyone to walk around within the park. So again, we just found this park was really unique in that it was completely free, no admission, nothing. You just walk into the park and you have access to this amazing archaeological site. Even though we spent a short time in Nîmes, we enjoyed taking our time on our walk back from the park to the train station, and we really enjoyed our time here. We thought it was a really cute city with really some nice surprises, like I said, with these beautiful archaeological sites within the park, as well as a really beautiful main square. So if you happen to be passing through the area, definitely do go for a stop. We went for just a couple hours really, but you might find that you want to spend more time here depending on your interests. From here, we boarded a bus to the Pont du Gard, which is France's most famous and iconic bridge, both for its look, but also for its history, because it was built by the ancient Romans. So you can imagine what a feat of engineering it was at this time to build a bridge with such a good design that has lasted for this long afterwards. Amazing. If you want to get closer to the bridge or get higher views of the river, there is a small hike that you can take up through just kind of this short little walking path area. If you want to walk on the bridge, I believe you have to book a private tour to do so because they do not let just anyone walk on the bridge. We found that we were fine not walking on the bridge, but if that's something that you want to do keep that in mind. That is something you have to book a tour for. Once we were done exploring the Pont du Gard, we walked back to the bus stop and headed this time to the city of Avignon. Our first stop in Avignon was the Basilique de Saint-Pierre d'Avignon, which is a really extravagant and over-the-top, pretty grandiose type church to visit. So if you like really extravagant and lavish decorations and art, then you might appreciate this church. We certainly did. Once we were done at the Basilica, we proceeded to walk down the street a bit and just enjoy some of the city while on our way to the Palais des Papes, which happens to be considered one of the most important Gothic buildings in Europe. This building was considered to be the seat of Western Christianity during the 14th century. Due to COVID, they weren't doing guided tours, but were only doing self-guided tours. And this was actually quite fine because we found that they actually had one of the most immersive and engaging self-guided tour structures that we've had thus far when traveling. They had these really cool iPads that allowed you to do virtual reality, where you could compare how a room looked in the present ruined state of it compared to how it would have looked, or maybe how we imagine it would have looked during its heyday in this medieval time period. The next day, we woke up in our Airbnb in Avignon and did a small little day trip to the nearby city of Arles. We walked around the old town a bit on our way to the first attraction of the day, which was the cryptoportique. These were these underground tunnels that apparently have existed since medieval times. From here, we proceeded to the cloisters of Saint-Trophime, which featured these beautifully engraved sculptures into the walls of the cloisters. The intricate design that it took to sculpt these pillars was really impressive, and to be honest, this was probably one of the most beautiful cloisters that we have been to so far during our time in Europe. For another place to enjoy some of the ancient Roman architecture and history, you can head to the Roman Theater of Arles, which is one of the best Roman theaters in this area of France. So we did enjoy walking around the ruins of this, and we found in particular that getting up to the high part of this Roman theater offers some really nice views of the city. So we enjoyed our experience visiting this Roman theater. Once we were finished with this Roman theater, we headed to another Roman theater, this time in the city of Orange. We took the train to get to Orange and then walked to the Roman Theater of Orange, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's recognized because it has a very well-preserved stage wall, which is a feature of many ancient Roman theaters that are often left in disrepair over time, and this one is remarkably intact and well-preserved. Included in our admission to the Roman Theater of Orange was admission to the museum across the street, the Musée d'Art et d'Histoire. This is a small, quaint museum that features various art and historical artifacts. We finished our time in Orange waiting for our train to return to the city of Avignon, and we enjoyed nice views of the exteriors of the Roman theater while enjoying a pint. Alright everyone, that is it for this video. I hope it inspired you to see a new region of France that maybe you had not considered before. If you did like this video, please be sure to give this video a like and a subscribe. In our next video, we'll be continuing along to the city of Aix-en-Provence, as well as visiting a friend of ours in the seaside town of Sanary-sur-Mer. Please be sure to check it out, and I hope to see you at our next video. Bye!